Hey everyone, it's Jamie from IndependenceStNola and Seasonsinritual, and I'm here with the Crimson Cadaverous, and we are in a new setting today.
Yes.
Helen suggested that we go to Longview Gardens.
Yes.
And it's really beautiful out here. Thank you.
It is a very beautiful place, yes.
On Sundays they have free family days.
Yes, I think it's like one Sunday a month or something like that. Check their website. Really nice place.
Yeah.
Or just come in and support them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Whatever. Pick your, I don't want to say poison. Pick your poison. Pick your day. Okay, so we are in April.
Wow.
Any April Fools?
I mean, I feel like just that it's somehow April. Like,
yeah.
What is
Edwin asked me if I had any April Fools, and I was like, I April Fooled myself into believing I was going to clean my house in one day.
Yes.
Yes, joke was on me. Okay, so now we're here for the week of 4/3 to 4/9. Is your microphone on?
I know. I just realized we might not have turned our microphone.
Mine's on. Is yours on?
Okay,
yes,
now
yes,
it's
yes.
on. Okay, I'm just a little slow.
That's okay.
Solar storm.
Solar storms, baby.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are in the week again of 4/3 to 4/9.
Yes.
Monday the 3rd. Moon will be in Virgo.
Yes, which is a great stable energy to start the week off with to start our routine off with, I should say, because that's kind of what the moon is, you know, how we feel our routine through.
Okay.
Because we've got some pretty big things going on Monday.
Okay, good. Let's get into it.
Yeah, it's a really great day because...
well, what's interesting, I'm just going to interrupt you.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, James.
Yeah,
okay.
go ahead.
The moon is in Virgo, which is an earth sign.
Yes.
And then Mercury enters Taurus, which is our fixed earth sign.
Yes.
Okay, so...
Yes,
okay.
so we got, and the moon is trining Juno and Uranus and Taurus as well. So lots of earth energy, which is important to remember because we're going to need to remain grounded because some other things coming through on that day.
Okay, so Monday's a good day to stay grounded.
Yes.
It's a good day to see what we can resolve.
Yes.
Right? Use your intuition. Your intuition's going to say maybe you need to do this first.
Yes.
Okay. Mercury entering Taurus, so that's Mercury speaking.
Yes.
Right? And he's entering this fixed...
Very pragmatic.
Right. So, and yeah, Taurus is very pragmatic.
Yes. And it's a fixed earth sign, so it's like not only just being stable, but making sure you know exactly what you're saying before you say it.
Okay. Mercury and Taurus will then be squaring Pluto.
Yes.
And Pluto, as we know, is in Aquarius.
Yes.
Okay, so Mercury and Taurus squaring Pluto.
Yes.
Who is in Aquarius? What does that feel like to you?
So I feel like that is truth being revealed.
Okay. I get it. It's great. Great with what's going on in the news today. You know what I mean?
And that's why I kind of want to throw it in with that conjunction with Vesta and Eris. So Vesta and Eris are both in Aries right now. They're going to form a conjunction.
That means they're real close to each other, like this. Like, what's
merging
up,
energies.
Okay, yeah.
So Vesta is the sacred flame. She speaks to what we are truly devoted to, what really we're called home to, you know, because of course she speaks also to the home hearth.
Yeah.
And Eris is the great disruptress.
Right.
You know, she doesn't even, you know, in Roman and Greek times, they didn't even have monuments to her because they were so worried about her disrupting things.
Such a patriarchal move.
Really, all she does is disrupt the things that need to be disrupted. So, we've got Vesta, which is a sacred flame, and Eris forming a conjunction in Aries.
Who's the instigator, or who is
the fire starter.
Right.
Yeah.
I could say instigator, I guess.
So it's almost kind of like burning away anything that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, to tie that in with the Mercury square Pluto, it's almost like any secrets that are being revealed, anything that we're now understanding, it's like we need to like kind of distill ourselves down, so that moon in Virgo, distill ourselves down with this sacred flame to just what needs to be here.
And I really think, piggybacking on that Mercury and Taurus squaring that Pluto and Aquarius, it's almost like when someone is crying wolf, we're not going to back down. We're going to say, you're crying wolf.
Yeah.
Man. Okay. At the same time, if someone's speaking the truth, there's that stability there to have it come out, right? So like that Mercury and Taurus is that stability, right? So if someone's saying, no, this is the truth, that Pluto and Aries is going to hold that mirror to it.
Yeah.
But if someone's speaking caca, that mirror is going to be held to it, and we're going to know, like, that's bullshit.
Right.
Or like, that's going to stand the test of time.
Well, that's what I was saying. I feel like it's almost like the tower of lies and deceit burning down.
Ah, it's time.
And it's like all these things. You know what's crazy? Okay, so I think about the tower in tarot.
Right.
The card that comes right after it is the star. hope, rejuvenation, rebirth. And it's like something about burning that tower down. It's like we just burnt something down we don't need anyway.
Right. Well, it wasn't stable.
Yeah.
And the star also represents Aquarius.
Yes. And so I feel like we really do have this like new Aquarian energy coming in, you know, and it's being helped with that Aries energy, the fire starter that's like, let's get it going.
And I can't tell you guys enough, like, and you work with people and I work with people, but I can see this new energy. I mean, it is here, you guys. Yeah. It is here, and it's just going to keep getting stronger and stronger. So work with it. Work with it.
And, you know, do what you can to remain grounded. And I think that's really important. Like, tap into things like the Mercury in Taurus energy, where it's like, you know, this is the grounded mind. Right. This is, you know, a discerning mind. And tap into that. You know, don't so much worry about, like, what's falling away.
No, good. That's a great way to put it, Helen. That's a really beautiful way to put it.
Yeah, we don't need to be attached to that. We want to be attached to where we're going, not where we're coming from.
Good. I really like that. That's a great way of putting that. Okay, so Tuesday, the beginning of the day, the moon will still be in Virgo. Yep. And then the moon will move into Libra.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about after the moon moves into Libra, which is balanced still.
Yes, and forming a trine with Venus.
Okay.
Actually, that happens before the moon moves into Libra. Sorry. So while the moon's still in Virgo, forming a trine with Venus, opposition with Neptune. So that is all the feminine energy.
Yeah.
So we're getting a little balance there. So like we're going to have these planets come and interact with one another. And then the moon will slip into Libra. So it's like finding balance within the feminine energy. And
that moon in Virgo trining that Venus in Taurus. Venus rules Taurus. So to me, again, that is resolving our self-worth. Yes. You know, like the day before, we're watching shit fall away. Yes. So we're able to see, like, I'm worth this now. And because it's opposite Neptune and Pisces, again, it's that illusionary story going far, far away.
Yep, and trine Pluto once moving into Libra, so it's like, again.
Right, so the moon moves into Libra. I know we're all
revealed.
Over. Apparently Tuesday is going to be a little chaotic, the way we're all over the place. Okay, sorry. But yeah, so the moon moves into Libra. It will trine Pluto and Aquarius.
Yes. Okay. And form a conjunction with Ceres. So like, again, more feminine energy, more nurturing ourselves. By letting the things that don't need to be there fall away.
Right. And I just feel like this is more, and I'm going to be saying this probably for the next 20 years. So you heard it here first. And then forever. Yes. But it is this maturing of the planets. Yeah. It is this maturing and coming in with this new energy.
Yes. Yeah. And I think we actually really have that coming in the next day on Wednesday.
Okay, let's talk about Wednesday then.
Yeah, so that's the day, very, very end of the day is when we have the Libra full moon. But we've got kind of a build-up with that because obviously the sun is not the only planet in Aries right now.
What? Okay.
I know, we've had this Aries thing.
An Aries party?
Yeah, you know, and so before...
So let me just read. Yes. Moon in Libra.
Yep.
Opposite the sun.
Yes.
Okay, right. Yes. Okay. And Chiron in Aries. So is that what you want to talk about?
Yeah. Okay. So before we actually get that opposition between the sun and the moon, which is going to be the full moon, we actually have the sun forming a conjunction with Chiron. Okay. And then Chiron forms an opposition with the moon. Okay. So Chiron is very, very much involved with this full moon. Yeah. Which I think is actually great. Yeah. Because we've been healing with Chiron's journey recently.
We really have.
You know, and again, we've been thinking of Chiron not so much as the wounded healer, but the great healer. Right. He heals.
And I've been seeing that so much too, you guys coming through with just working with people and working with different clients. They're really starting to understand the story about things that they might have been, like maybe like a little shadow work, right? Yes. But like it's now starting to make sense. Like before I thought it was like this, but now I see it in a different way, and like it is being healed. Okay.
Well, and that's great that you talk about like stories because Mercury forms a sextile with Saturn on that day.
Hey,
so it's like building new stories. Yeah. You know, and very easily because again, a sextile is, you know, very harmonious interaction. So Mercury, who just moved into Taurus, right, sextiling with Saturn in Pisces, who Saturn's just still figuring out Pisces.
Yeah, it's in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Mercury's kind of like in Taurus is helping lock in that energy, and
so it's really interesting when you think about it, because Mercury in Taurus is Earth, right, being grounded, and Saturn is stability.
Yeah.
In Pisces, right, which can be really illusion, like woo,
right.
right?
I wouldn't exactly call it stable.
Okay, right. Except for you, Pisces, who's listening to us. You
you're totally stable.
You're the stable one. Yeah. Okay. So, but it's this new conversation about making things stable.
Yes.
But I think it goes with letting go, like those old stories.
Yes.
That don't work with us anymore, and start building new stories, like you said.
Exactly. And again, Saturn is the building.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Thursday.
Yes.
Moon in Libra.
Yes.
Okay.
And again, we're still working with that Aries stellium, so continuing with the oppositions.
Okay.
Between this time, Jupiter, Eris, and Vesta.
Okay.
Which obviously we just had at the beginning of the week, Vesta conjunct Eris, so they're kind of just coming right off that energy. The moon gets to kind of feel it out, see eye to eye with it across the table, so to speak.
Yeah.
And Jupiter just kind of helps restore our faith.
I
Because
agree.
I think we're dealing with a lot of heavy energy, and Jupiter kind of comes in and is like, "Okay, guys, it's still okay.
You guys want to hear a
the
joke?
sun's still shining.
Yeah.
Everything's okay." And as we're kind of, feeling through that Eris and Vesta, energy of the week, Jupiter again is kind of like smoothing it out.
Right, and also if the moon is in Libra and it is, like you said, opposite Jupiter, Eris, and Vesta, the moon in Libra can look towards Jupiter and say, because Libra's balance, if things around you are like unbalanced, tap into Jupiter, grow the area that feels balanced, okay? And know, like, if you're concentrating on that, the other stuff is going to start to work itself out.
Yeah.
You can really, your intuition, start asking yourself, where are things balanced, okay?
Yeah.
And that same day, Mercury will be conjunct the North Node.
Yes.
Wow,
and it's like we're reminded that we write our own story. We write our own destiny.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And I think again, it's in Taurus, so it's a grounded, fixed energy that
doesn't move extremely fast, you guys. I'm not saying it's super slow, but if you feel like if this is just starting to come in, what else do I need to know today, and nothing else comes up, it's okay.
Just give it time.
Right. It'll keep coming in, but Taurus likes to do one thing at a time.
Right.
I say that knowing there's some Tauranians that do things really fast. But when we think about I always think about the Knight of Pentacles.
Yeah.
And he does it one thing at a time.
Yeah, he'll get there when he gets there.
Right.
Yep.
So take stock in that, you guys. Okay.
And remember that this is, a time when Eris is very much involved. So, like, maybe the only action we need to take is allowing something to go.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
And again, it's right after the full moon, so it's a period of release.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe the story we're writing is that we allow.
Yeah, I like that. Did I bring it? Yes. Okay. Which I did not plan this, but this is just how it's working. Okay, so.
What are we planning anymore?
Okay, thank you. Okay, so you guys know I do this Aries season. Well, I might not have it. My season's ritual calendar, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, I didn't bring the part that I wanted, but for the spring tarot scope, for the bull for Taurus, I'm pretty sure I said, like, they're getting used to the idea that if they look across that empty field, they see it as fertile.
Yeah.
Instead of seeing it as like not dreams not being realized,
right.
but start able to build upon the dreams that are going to be stable and will be realized.
That makes sense.
And that takes a minute, you guys.
Yeah.
It takes a minute. Okay, Friday.
Yes.
I'm so excited there. Friday, moon in Libra will move into Scorpio.
Yes.
Okay.
So pretty much very beginning of the day, we're in Scorpio, which creates something really interesting because then the moon forms a trine with Saturn in Pisces and Mars in Cancer.
Okay.
So it's kind of a grand water trine-ish.
Close.
Not
close.
exact.
Right.
But pretty close. So that's kind of like a fixed triangle of harmonious water energy.
Yeah.
Which water, of course, is emotions, feelings.
Take
the
that
flow
shower,
of life.
you guys. Let things go.
Yeah, cleansing the flow of life. And, to see the moon, Saturn, and Mars there, you know, moon in Scorpio. So it's like releasing the things that we're feeling, but also, again, building structures, recharging our power.
Yeah.
And how do we do that in an emotional, intuitive way?
Right. And I think it's because we should ask ourselves that question, but also it shows how we're getting in touch with our intuition.
Yes.
And we're starting to learn to trust it. And it doesn't feel scary. Or like when things come in, we're not like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Instead of being like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Or if this feels good, I'm going to go with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh,
And
Friday.
and on that same day, we've got the moon forming an opposition with Mercury in the north node.
Okay.
But then that means the moon will form a conjunction with the south node at the same time. So again, and square with Pluto. So we've got, like we talked about earlier, the release energy where we might be allowing something to go. But again, that's to have us find a way of finding stability.
Right.
In that empty space.
Yeah.
That we're kind of creating with the things that are going that something hasn't quite grown yet. I guess I'm thinking maybe more like Taurus with the seed being planted.
And also,
And we just have to have an open field for that to be planted in.
and this is kind of reminding me of a conversation I had with someone earlier in the week, and she was saying like, you know, I usually talk to my ancestors and I hear things, and right now everyone's real quiet. And she started to freak out, understandably. But what was coming through was because you've got to have new conversations with your ancestors. You've got to have new conversations because we're in a new energy.
Yes.
The idea is if you're there and it's quiet or you're not hearing things, or you see the empty field, it's time to ask what needs to be planted now in this new energy. So with the moon in, where are we? The moon in Scorpio, when it's conjunct that south node, it's important to see what you've let go.
Yeah.
And it's important to see that you're not going to take it forward with you.
Right.
And so squaring that Pluto and Aquarius, what's the new information coming in? Because it's going to be like, if it's not relevant to where you are now and where you're moving forward.
Yeah, it's almost like we're being given space to decide what the narrative is that we want to write.
Right. 100%.
Not, you know, trying to figure out what somebody else's was. Even like what our ancestors' narrative was.
Oh,
like,
100%.
We don't need that anymore.
No.
You know, we can build upon it.
Right. But
we're still writing our own.
Yes. And they respect that.
Right.
They really do.
And, you know, I think it's interesting because we were talking about all this, like, balancing feminine energy earlier. And then on that same day, we've got Venus forming a sextile with Neptune. That is super, super balanced feminine energy.
Because Venus is in Taurus.
Yep.
Right? And Taurus is ruled by Venus. It just happens to be that way. And Neptune is in Pisces. And
Pisces.
Yeah, and Neptune rules Pisces.
So, and again, a sextile is harmonious, about 2 signs away, 60 degrees. So that is a beautiful balance of all that's tangible and all that's intangible within that divine feminine.
And showing up in a mature way. I'm going to keep doing that in for the next 20 years.
I know.
Okay.
Exactly. And I think that's really beautiful on that same day that we're kind of just allowing the space.
It is really beautiful.
Yeah, because I think that's a thing that we forget about with the divine feminine. It's like
she receives.
Yeah, the beauty to just allow, not force.
Right.
To just allow.
And we're moving more into this not forcing energy.
Yes.
We'll get used to it. It's, you know, it was tough coming out of that patriarchy, right? Where we're like, go, go, go. But this is helping bring that in.
Yes.
And get us there.
Yes.
We're gonna. It's
solar storm.
Yeah. Okay, Saturday.
They had auroras down in New Mexico.
Isn't that wild?
I'm surprised we didn't have them here. It's probably too much pollution.
Probably. Or, you know what, we'll be like, oh, they're auroras, and then we'll find out some gas.
Yeah.
An oil company blew up.
Probably.
Either way.
Or fireworks or something.
These are jokes. They're just jokes. Okay, Saturday.
Yes.
What's happening? The moon is in Scorpio.
Yes. Opposite Juno and Uranus.
And Juno you read her as relationships.
Yes. Relationships, anything we're committed to.
Okay.
Anything that, we partner with, whether that another person or a thing or ourselves. And Uranus. So they're very close to one another right now. And Uranus brings like awakenings and sudden change. So it's almost like...
Saturday is going to be a big day, especially on Friday when we're just allowing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, with the moon in Scorpio, there's something we're releasing.
Yeah.
So there might be something, and again, I don't want to say like everyone's going to release a relationship, but
maybe old stories.
Right.
Yeah, old
a relationship with yourself,
Yeah.
a relationship with the narratives that you write.
Right. Because it can be like
Mercury sextile Mars that day, so
right.
that makes sense.
Yeah, right. So Mercury is sextiling Mars. Right,
Yes.
right. Okay, but like releasing, like you said, a relationship, but like maybe it's that relationship where like you see yourself now as a grown up.
Yes.
And
again,
that is
that's
a wounded
the awakening.
child.
That's the waking up. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we're not kids anymore, and we
Yeah.
have to, you know, put our big kid panties on.
And we feel good about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, Mercury sextile Mars, that we feel powerful in that new narrative.
Right. Yeah, that makes total sense. Okay, Sunday. We made it, you guys. Sunday.
Yay.
Do you want to talk about the moon still in Scorpio before
Yes.
it moves in Sagittarius? Okay.
Opposite Venus.
Okay.
Yep.
The moon will still be in Scorpio on Sunday morning.
Yes.
The opposite Venus and Taurus.
Right. And so I think, again, you know, moon in Scorpio speaks of releasing something, and Venus is our value system. It's almost like releasing something that doesn't fit with
Our old value system.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then trying Neptune, it's like, we can almost like imagine something better.
Right. Yep.
You know, dream it.
Dream it,
Dream
yeah.
it, you can be it,
Yeah.
you know. And then we have the moon move into Sagittarius. So we're getting fired
I know,
up,
yeah.
we're getting all fun.
Yeah.
You know, that's that Jupiter energy.
Yeah.
Squaring Saturn.
Okay.
So, you know, kind of like keeping it balanced.
Yeah.
We're not going too crazy.
Right. It's not like slamming, like the reason I would feel like slamming shots and beers and then going for it. Okay.
Right.
It's like, whoa.
No,
Maybe you just have a shot and a beer.
Right.
Okay.
We're
Okay.
balanced scales.
Yeah.
But squaring Saturn in Pisces,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like we're able to feel some of these structural changes that we've been going through.
Yeah.
And again, some of it may be an allowance of like allowing those things that are changing. Because again, sextile Pluto.
Right.
So
Right.
something's kind of we're transforming
Forming.
something.
Yeah.
Yes.
So because you guys, Pluto's going to be in Aquarius until it moves back, but
Yes.
so the moon in Sagittarius sextiling Pluto, like
Yes.
you said, transforming something, and that's where the future is, where we are now.
Yes.
And for that to happen, we really have to let go and transmute that old way of being. And Sagittarius, like you said, squaring Saturn and Pisces, just like you
Yes.
said, it's getting that stability or
Yeah.
like knowing like, what, this was my dream, but what does it look like now
Yeah.
as a blankety blank person
Right.
and not like a 18-year-old.
Whatever the
13.
old paradigm was,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
And that's, again, like, overall theme is we're rewriting our own paradigms. We're allowing whatever existed before that doesn't speak to us to go.
Right. And speaking on that part, you guys, if you are having a week where you feel like you keep thinking about old things and you're like, why is this haunting me or torturing me? And it's not. It's coming up so you guys can really face it and just be like, wait, that doesn't fit my life anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I've outgrown that. Okay, so know that's part of quote unquote shadow work when we talk
Right.
about. It's not to, I always say the universe isn't haunting you or trying to make you have a bad life. It's just putting it up there so you can be like, oh.
Some of that's just Pluto shadow work.
Yeah, that's
and he
just not
forms
me
a
anymore.
square with Mercury this week and with the moon this week, and he's kind of like challenging us to be like, all right, be big kids.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Let it go. See it differently.
Face the fear. Like go
Face
into
the fear.
go into the basement and just turn the light on.
Right, 100%.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
And I think, it's
That's
funny
so
because I
Leo
think
of
about
you.
when I was a kid, like it was like the scariest thing when
Yeah.
the basement didn't have the light on, but the minute the light was on, it's not scary anymore.
Yeah, it's a perfect way
And
of
maybe
saying
that's
it.
all Pluto needs us to do is like turn our own light on for ourselves and be like, face it.
I think that's where we're gonna leave it.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Okay, if you need to reach out to me or Helen, you can reach out Instagram, websites, or YouTube. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. And if you ever want to book a session with either one of us, that's the same way you can do it. So you guys have a great week, and I'll put out a full moon video. You'll write about it.
Yes.
Okay, and we'll see you next time.
Yay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.